but we also fought through quite a bit of combat in Iraq. The same thing in Afghanistan when I was there. So the combat affects everybody. And even though I was a little late to the show in Southeast Asia, been there, done that, got the T-shirt.
Okay, thank you very much for that. First question I have for you would be, how did you get the selected missions and sites that you had to go look for the remains of these soldiers or Marines or airmen?
Okay, specific to Laos, we traveled the country. There's 18 provinces in Laos, and I've been in 13 of them. And we would go out and we would talk to the locals in each of the villages. And occasionally they would come up to us with something that they had found, or we would see something like a piece of an aircraft fuselage in the village that they're being used for something, or even the canoes. They made canoes out of the aluminum aircraft fuselages, and we'd be able to get serial numbers or identification marks off of a lot of the things that we found out there. So we would then get a potential identification based on the item or the aircraft fuselage that would tell us who the crew was. And then we could check and see if everybody was recovered, or, you know, all of the pieces that go into that. Based on items found and other information that supported a potential, we would go out and do a reconnaissance of the site. And then we would also have to do a reconnaissance of an area that would be a bivouac site for the recovery team. And the recovery team is made up of military and archaeological students and people that are professional to do the type of recovery and the dig, because they would actually lay it out and do the dig. And then we would go in and we would negotiate with the locals based on advice from the Ministry of Interior, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs,
Right.
and all the people from
the political
Right.
branches of the place.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And we would have to do that. And then we would come to an agreement, and whether determining the greatest need, and it might be a school or a clinic or something like that. So one of my jobs is to contract with locals to build a school or a medical clinic or something to that effect. And then we would get permission from the government to do a dig in that area.
Gotcha. Okay. So tit for tat.
Right.
All righty. So we have some questions coming from the audience. Matt, do you have some questions there? Okay. What years did you spend in Southeast Asia?
I was there from March of 97 until about February of 98.
Wow. So far after the war, another 25 years, 26 years after we got out of there. That's
one of the ironies was that a lot of the people in the government of Laos were Vietnam War era, were freedom fighters from their perspective,
right?
And it was all very real to them, very current, even 25 years after the fact, because they would say things like, "You bombed us the most, you need to build us another schoolhouse," or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, ante up. Okay,
Yeah.
We have another question here. Next question from Hudson Valley Web TV. How many MIAs did you actually find?
Okay, there was one that was repatriated by the team that was there before me, but it was repatriated about a month after I got there. And then there was 3 that we had nearly positive IDs on, and 2 of those were positively ID'd and were able to be repatriated.
Wow.
So we had 6 digs the entire time I was there at different stages and different times.
Right. And these are all in Laos?
This is in Laos, yes. It's
Okay.
The proper name for the country, according to the Lao people, is the People's Democratic Republic of Laos.
Right. Well, we had the S. I guess the French people don't want to do that.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's an Americanized thing, but
All right.